Chain Reaction released the album Figurehead album in October 2020. And a year and a half later, here you are talk with me, no, about the band. In my opinion, a lot of people really like the album. What do you think? A lot of people like the album.
I think so. I think it. Yeah, I think it did. I think it did quite all right. I think for us it was like a pretty big deal to put out a record that we really enjoyed ourselves. We put really a lot of time into writing the songs and making sure everything was the way we wanted it to be, with the recordings and the artwork and everything. And when the record came out, there were no shows, at all.
It was in the beginning of the pandemic, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after a while, yeah. But that was perfectly fine. I think it was a good time to put out new music because people really wanted new music at the time because people were stuck at home with not much to do, and then I think it's a good time to listen to music and really enjoy it. So and yeah, I think it did really well, I guess, for a small. I mean, we're a pretty small band, but the first pressing of the vinyl sold out quite quickly.
Wow.
So we did the second press, which is also almost sold out now. So it's really good. The only thing is that it's been, like you said, it's been a year and a half, and we only have played 2 shows since then.
Two shows. So.
2, yeah. So that's kind of fun.
Okay, maybe in the future there will be a lot of shows this summer. What
hopefully,
do you think?
Actually, I think so. Today in Ghent, there's the first hardcore show of the year is happening tonight.
Wow.
In Ghent, in Belgium, yeah. Because today is the first day
without any restriction.
Without masks, you still need like a certificate to get in. You know, like you need your QR code to get in to prove that you're vaccinated or that you're already, whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, but it's good because that's
hopefully
the first show.
The times are changing, and I think so. I think that hardcore bands can be played this summer during this summer around the Europe, no? I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. About the record, about the album, was published by Atomic in the United States and Control in Europe. How did this collaboration between labels come about?
It was actually something that we thought about ourselves because all the records that we did before, we did a few singles, like a 7-inch and a split 7-inch on Control Records.
Okay.
Yeah. And Control Records is a really good friend of mine that I've known Geert, who does the label. I've known him for like 20 years. So he's one of my best friends. And he was always there for us to help us out. But I thought like for a bigger record, like the 12-inch that we did, it would be, cool if we had someone in the States to help us.
Wow.
And Atomic Action is also a friend of mine, like Brian, who does the label. I met him like 6 or 7 years ago when he was in Europe. And we always stayed in touch since then.
Okay.
And
you have connections with the United States or with this friend and several friends, maybe.
Yeah, well, Brian from Atomic Action, he was in Europe in 2015.
Okay.
And I met him then, and we always stayed in touch. And I really like his label. He's a super nice guy. And some of my older friends or friends from other bands also worked with him in the past. And everybody was super, happy with the way that he does the label. And I think it's really cool.
Okay. I have read that one of your major influences is the band Integrity. What do you admire most about the band Integrity?
Well, I don't really agree, you know. I mean, I like Integrity a lot, but for Chain Reaction, it's not really an influence actually for our music. But I really, I mean, I love the old Integrity stuff. I think it's great. But for Chain Reaction, I think the sound that we are more influenced by is like the late 80s and early 90s New York hardcore stuff with a bit more like sometimes a bit more melody and more groove, like stuff like Crown of Thorns or Burn or some of the breakdown stuff or, you know, stuff like that. Integrity is like, it's really cool, but not something that influences the band a lot.
You don't have considered a big influence in your music, but I think that at the same time, there are things that you admire for Integrity band, no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been into Integrity for a long time, and yeah, discovered them when I was like 15 years old or something, and yeah, for sure, like the music that they did was like super unique in everything, you know, the sound, the lyrics, the vocals, the artwork. It's like a very unique and special band. So yeah, I really like Integrity a lot too.
I can't make you halfway. I can't compromise. 'Cause your words are poison. You're everything that I despise. Oh. Denying of this information. Ain't you the realization? To nail the stakes down and get hammered down. So we'll repeat the process until we're numb and blind. Long and blind. Who wins? Last nation, another one. We're killing each other for the crowns on the floor. Who wins? Last nation, another one. We're killing each other. And what's it all for? I can't meet you halfway, and I can't compromise. 'Cause your words are poison. Fuck it. Power corrupts.
I have never been a quitter.
Okay. I have seen this week the announcement of a festival in Belgium. I remember the name is GroezRock, I think, with Psychophytol, H2O, Descendants will play. Do you like this kind of festivals, big festivals? Do you like it?
That's a good question. I really, honestly, I don't really like big festivals that much. GroezRock is, well, it's growing, I guess. It used to be smaller and it's growing into a bigger thing. You know what I'll say is like festivals like that are a really good thing for maybe younger people or older people to see a lot of bands on the same day and to be exposed to different to different things that they might not know. So that's a good thing for sure. But honestly, for myself, I prefer smaller places and like a small club or a small squad or whatever it is. And the energy is very different from a festival, of course. So that's what I prefer myself. But sometimes I go to a festival just like, I don't know.
I agree with you. But at the same time, I remember when I was in GroezRock in Merhout, and I remember I was in the edition with Hatebreed, Race Against, New Found Glory, Play It. And I was surprised how many people were at this festival. No, a lot of young people like hardcore punk in Belgium, I guess. And actually, I don't know if there are a lot of people who like this kind of bands. Is a hardcore punk a genre that is held in Belgium? Do you see the young people like hardcore punk in your country?
I think it really goes up and down, and I think right now it's probably not that big anymore. But GroezRock, like you said, had some really big years. Like I think they had some years where there were like maybe 15,000 or 20,000 people there.
Yeah.
But then that was a while ago already. And then the last couple of times that I went, a couple of years ago, it was still big, but smaller than that. So I think the popularity of hardcore and punk, it kind of goes like up and down a little bit. So, and it's hard to say because we haven't really had festivals for a while. And for younger people, I'm not sure if it's still like the cool thing to do or the cool thing to listen to. And also don't forget GroezRock, because Belgium is easy to get to. A lot of people from Holland come to GroezRock, and from Germany and from France. Yeah. So it's not just, of course, it's not just Belgian people.
It's not only Belgian people. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Spanish people. We usually travel to this festival. If Chain Reaction were to be invited to the kind of festival, could you accept this invitation for playing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would. I don't mind. I don't think they would ask us, but if they would ask us, I would say, yeah, of course. It's always a challenge, you know, like with my other bands, we also used to play big festivals quite often, and it's not my favorite thing to do, but it's a challenge as a band to try to bring the same energy and have a really good show in a festival setting. It's something that's more difficult, I think, and sometimes you just have to try. And there's always, you know, I try to always remember that there's always going to be someone there, maybe one person, maybe more. It's for that one person, it might be the first, you know, exposure to us. Yeah. Or maybe even the first exposure to hardcore. So you should never forget that there's always like a young person somewhere in the, you know what I mean? In the tent,
some experience that is difficult to live in another situation, no? When you are in a crowded, it's a lot of people shouting, a lot of people dancing. It's amazing, no?
Yeah, it could be really cool, exactly, especially for, like I said, for younger people. So yeah, it was definitely. I would say yes.
Okay. I grew up in a small city in Spain called Viveiro that then is very famous because Resurrection Fest it was organized. The promoters of this festival born in Viveiro too. Some of my friends and my cousins like the bands of a scene of 8,000.
8,000 stuff, yeah.
Yeah. How do you remember these times?
Wow. I mean, I'm a bit older, so I was there. You know what I mean?
90s, no? Yeah. The beginning of the century, maybe. Yeah. Well, Congress, Liar, this kind of bands have a lot of successful in Spain, in my village. So many people like it.
Yeah, it's funny to hear. It's crazy. People still talk about 8,000 stuff a lot, and it's really crazy. But when I was like 15 in '95, I went to my first hardcore show, and the first show was Congress.
Congress, wow.
Yeah, and then it was just around that time that the scene, the 8000 scene, was really like becoming very popular, like exploding. So 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, maybe still. Those were the years when that scene was really big. And we got to see those bands all the time, especially Liar, Congress, of course, but Blindfold, one of my favorite bands ever. I saw them a lot too. And then the smaller, I mean, not smaller, but like the bands like, you know, Vitality, Regression, stuff like that. The shows were really good for a while.
What
but
kind
then
of...
around, sorry to interrupt, around 2000, 99 or 2000, it really started to die. Bands were like the big bands were sometimes, people were losing interest, bands were changing or sometimes quitting, and people were getting older and getting into different things, and there were no younger bands ready to take, to take the torch and to carry on. So it didn't die, but it was just like you could see things go downhill, and it wasn't the same. The energy wasn't the same. The quality wasn't the same, and that's okay. Scenes come and go, but it was a really good time for Belgium. Yeah.
Actually, these bands are still alive or not?
No, not really. No, I mean, Liar played a big reunion show 2 years ago. Yeah, a bit more than 2 years ago. They did a reunion show in Kortrijk. There was like 1,200 people there, something like that. Big show. It was really good. And then that's it. And then the other bands, none of them are still a band, which is perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of message do you take it for these bands? When you
from those bands?
Yeah, for when you are a young people and watch these shows, these aggressive shows, what kind of message give to you these bands?
Yeah, it was really very inspiring, actually, because the message I got was that we could be together in a small room with people that are together. Yeah, and you could be together. You're on the same level, because the people in the bands were also the same people that were in the venue hanging out.
Okay.
So there was a sense of like equality. And also, and it was very inspiring to see the energy on the stage. Like these bands were playing, and they had a lot of conviction, a lot of energy, like I said, and it was crazy to see it all happen. So it made me realize that I could maybe do that myself later on, and I did. But that was, I think, the biggest message that I got from it was like,
no distances between
no distance.
The singer and the public, no, and
exactly,
equality. All the people in the same venue is with the same rights, no, and no privilege.
Exactly. No privilege, no bullshit, no barriers, no stupid dumb shit. Just like everybody's there to get their energy out, to have a good time and be inspired, and that's what I really liked about it. Yeah.
That it sounds very good.
Okay, it was good. Yeah.
Finally, I would like to hear your plans. Will we hear some news about Chain Reaction or Rise and Fall, maybe?
No. But for Chain Reaction, we are writing new songs.
Wow.
Because we want to do another record. Not this year, probably, but maybe the year after. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Great.
We have, should be. I mean, that's what we really want to do. And we recorded 2 songs in December. So 2-3 months ago, we recorded 2 songs for a compilation, which is going to be hopefully out sometime this year in the summer, I think. which is going to be really cool. Like it's going to be an international compilation with us and then one band from Australia, one band from Canada, one band from the United States. Wow. So it's going to be like a fun little project. And then we're going to keep writing. So we have a new record. Hopefully maybe maybe next year. We'll see.
Next year.
And yeah, and we have quite some shows coming up also. If everything goes well, we have some shows in March, April, May, June. So it's looking.
Is there any chance to play in Spain this summer?
If someone asks us to come, then we can try to come. It depends if someone wants to see us. If people ask, then we can try.
Do you play sometimes in Spain, or it will be the first time? Okay.
It will be but Chain Reaction will be the first time. Yeah. Chain Reaction, we try to do as much as we can, and we've done some weekends. So we've been to the UK, we've been to Germany, Holland, of course, but we haven't been very far. So we don't have that much, time. So we have to be very, practical about things, and we try. Yeah.
Okay. In this winter, was cancelled a hardcore festival called Come Keep Us Down.
Yes.
It's very famous in Barcelona.
I was actually going to go.
It's a good chance to play because it will be the next summer. I don't know, maybe in June or July.
I heard about it too. I actually had it's funny because I had tickets for Can Keep Us Down.
Oh.
And I came
as a public.
As a public, yeah.
Wow.
I came to Barcelona anyway. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Barcelona.
Perfect.
The festival, there was no festival. I went there with my friends, and we still had a good time in Barcelona. So super nice. And I also saw Gabby, who does the festival.
Gabby, Gabby is the promoter of the festival.
Because I know him also from a
good guy
before. Yeah, really good guy.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe.
And in the next edition, I will go, and it's a good chance to talk with you without any screen.
Yeah, that would be good.
And watching your eyes, no, without any screen. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Have you got anything you would like to say to your Spanish fans?
Well, if people have been listening to Chain Reaction, or if people in Spain have picked up the record, I want to say thank you. Super cool. And thank you for the interview. I don't really have that much else to say. It's always nice to talk to people. So thank you for having us.
It's very nice for me too.
Yeah.